Hello everyone, welcome to Toledo Antique Channel. I'm Ali.
And I'm David.
And today we are going to do the haul of the things that we showed in the other video, in the previous video when we went shopping in Indiana. So today it's going to be the haul of that video. And we did find pretty cool stuff there, right David?
Oh yeah.
So are we going to start with like the best things ever?
Yes, we had a great day shopping. It's really interesting because when I go to antique stores, sometimes I'm like, I'm not going to find any deal, or, sometimes I'm like, I'd rather be at an estate sale or a thrift store or something where I'm more likely to find a deal. But lately at the antique stores, I've been finding excellent deals.
Yeah, definitely. The local stores are super good.
So lately, almost every time I've gone to an antique store, I've been really satisfied with what I found. For some reason, I don't know why we're finding such good stuff lately, but it's
Maybe
crazy.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Well, where you want to start it with?
Well, let's start with some of the items that we found first. So we went to the first antique store, and the first item we found.
And if you did not watch those videos, you better go there and watch to see we looking through those antique stores. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, so we found this. This is the top of a fairy lamp, and there was no base, but this thing was only $3.50. A few flea bites at the top, but I feel like we have a pretty good chance of finding a base for this fairy lamp, which will take this up to like $30 if we can.
Exactly.
And then, also at that same antique store, we found these two items.
These were the coolest ones.
Yeah, so really cool perfume bottles. Now this one over here is marked Murano.
Yeah,
and so
it's right there.
Out of Italy. So these are perfume bottles out of Italy. And I really like the striping on that with the blue color. But also this one has little flecks of gold in it, which is super cool as well. I think these are probably worth like $30 to $40 a piece.
Yeah, I think maybe even more. They are like perfume bottles, but they looks like an inkwell, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I think they are perfume bottles, but they have these interesting tops, which are like square, and the bottle's square, and both of them have really nice designs. Gold flecks, and then this black and blue spiral stripe, which this has a special name. I saw on the internet there was another Murano item with that pattern, so was selling really well. So I think we'll do real well with these.
Oh, yeah.
And then that one antique store, it had a lot of perfume bottles, and I've had a perfume bottle like this before in my antique store, and it sold very well. So when I saw this one, I was like, oh, that's like the one we already sold. So when you sell something once, odds are you'll be able to sell it again. So I picked it up. It's got a nice iridescent shine, and then almost like, not quite like threading. I guess I would call this veining. So there's veining in the glass.
Yeah, it looks like two types of glasses mixed together, right?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's almost like speckled glass a little bit, but that iridescent and the veining. So that's a lot of different techniques in the combined glass making here. So made me interested in this piece, and I think we will be able to turn a profit on this one.
Oh, yeah.
And then, I think that was it from that antique store, right?
Yeah, from that specific antique store was that we found it. So then somebody else had to said to us, okay, you guys gotta go to that place, the other place, because it was like super cool.
Yeah.
And we got there, and we did not really went to the place that the people told us to go. We went to the first antique store that we saw.
Yeah, somebody said like go to like 2 different towns, and I think the first place we went wasn't really the best for antiquing.
No, but in the second town,
oh yeah,
we're supposed to go to the big one, and we ended up in the small one, and it was super good.
Well, it was 3 floors. I mean, I thought it was pretty big, but yeah, they had a lot of good glassware. These are in northern Indiana, but a phenomenal amount of glassware, and the fairy lamps evidently are not extinct there.
No.
Because we found 3 fairy lamps that I ended up purchasing. They even had more than that, but I was like, 3 is good.
3 is good. Yeah.
Now this one, my favorite one, well, you guys can tell me what your favorite one is out of these. We got a nice red. This one's like a little bit amberina,
I think so.
as you could see.
This one is like a blue.
But check out the tops, how the tops are different between the red and the blue one. This is
Yeah.
a sharper, more like cut type, and that's more like rounded. So you don't, probably not going to cut your finger on that one.
Yeah, let's see the marking on this one here. The markings are different. It's,
Interesting. That was, I would
Yeah.
think that one's Fenton, but this one's
No.
definitely Fenton right here.
This one, interesting.
What's it say on there? Taiwan.
Yeah.
I do think Fenton sold their
Interesting.
molds to a different country, and I could just tell that this glassware wasn't quite the same quality as typical, but this one says made in Taiwan on the bottom, so interesting.
That one is heavier.
Yes, thicker
Yeah.
glass.
And this one here, it's a Viking glass, right? The famous owl fairy light.
Yes, this is the first one I've ever seen for a reasonable price, and so we grabbed it.
Oh yeah, and this, I think personally, this avocado green, right? You can
Yeah.
say that. It's super nice, and the price, the small store was really willing to negotiate price. So
Yes,
that
we
was good.
pretty much were able to, get like 10% off essentially. I did find this cup, which I think is phenomenal. It's like a thumbprint or like a coin dot glass, and I believe that this is also Fenton, but I knew I was going to regret it if I left this one behind, because I kind of have a thing for cups and drinking cups and stuff, so I knew that this was one that I would want to have around. So you see the price on it, $30. So I paid a bit for this one, but I knew I was going to regret it if I left it there, so I bought it.
And right in the basement, we were looking a couple things, and I spot this piece over a chair, and caught my attention because I thought, wow, this is so beautiful. And it's this gigantic ashtray made in Italy, says
Yes.
here on the bottom.
So this style of pottery is in the category of what I would call Raymore Battasi Landi pottery. So it's out of Italy. And this goes back way back in the day. I went to a garage sale one time and I found this weird looking vase, looked like it was made out of lava. And I bought it for $1, threw it in the back seat of my car. It was sitting back there. And one of my good friends who was selling stuff with me, he was like, hey, can I take that and list it on eBay? I was like, sure, take it, we'll split the money. He takes it, puts it on eBay, it sells for like $150, and I paid $1 for this thing. And he put in the title, Raymore Battasi Landi, and I was like, what the heck's going on? Because I just threw it in the back of the seat of my car like it was a piece of junk and it could have broke, and he's like, oh, that's awesome, And so, this is the same category, Raymore Battasi Landi pottery. It's an Italian style pottery. This still has the sticker on the bottom. It does say made in Italy 64/7. Somebody did put masking tape around this edge, which is interesting.
You know why?
Well, so it doesn't scratch anything,
Exactly.
right? I think,
Yeah.
but that's just an odd way of doing that. But I didn't want to take the masking tape off or anything. Maybe I should before selling it. I don't know. I don't like to mess with the antiques that much. I let the buyers do that. But you see these beautiful flowers, blue and gold, and it is an ashtray. And eBay won't let us sell ashtrays on the internet right now, so that's kind of awkward. But
We
I
can
think-
list it anyways. We
listed as pottery. I
cannot
guess.
just say that's an ashtray.
But this, I think, is worth something like $100 to $150. I think I paid $30 for it, so I was like, that's cool, triple my money,
Yeah.
And the purchases just got better. And when I started getting these great purchases, I was like, well, let me keep going here, because I kept finding every time this store had phenomenal stuff. So I was just looking all around, and I got one really good item, which we're saving for last. But right before I left, I found this, and I do have a thing for porcelain as well. I think porcelain's very underrated in the local market, and big markup and big money when you take it to the online market. And I don't know if you guys can see it because of the shadowing and the lighting, but there's some really beautiful hand-painted flowers on here, and they're a little bit better than the typical items, like the typical flowers you see. Like it's actually very artistic painting, and there's a signature on this. Now the signature says I think it says L. Wagner, which is a pretty, it's artist signed, so I'm like, that's cool. And then you could see there's no maker's mark on the back, so the blank that they used wasn't marked. Sometimes they'll say like KPM or Dresden or Limoges, but I just think the flowers on here are beautiful and it's artist signed. So this is like a miniature canvas that this artist used to put their painting on.
Yeah, so the quality of the painting, it's very important when you're buying porcelain. And this one here, it's really exceptional.
Yeah, and look for those little signatures on the plates. And, you know, you could even tell like the quality of the signature is good, the flowers are good. So this was made by a real artist.
Yeah.
Some of them are kind of like people just trying their hand at painting on plates and porcelain stuff. So you got to kind of differentiate. Now, the big item that we found.
Oh, you forgot to say that
to
it.
Do it. I have a couple more items. Shoot. So this one is very interesting, and you know that you are getting good, that you are good with antiques when you can make out the marking on this one, because a lot of people can't. This is crystal cranberry glass, beautiful, beautiful piece.
Cut to clear, right?
Yes, I believe it is cut to clear, yes.
Yeah.
But this has a marking on the bottom. So this antique store put it as signed. Now that signature, I don't know if you guys could even see it. It's up above here.
Incline it a little bit like this.
It's a very fine signature, but it does say Val Saint Lambert. So Val Saint Lambert, that's a Belgian crystal, which the only reason I've heard of Val Saint Lambert is one time I acquired a vase, I think, at a local auction by Val Saint Lambert, and it sold right away, and it was this really nice Belgian glass. So. And
then we saw that big lamp.
Oh, a big lamp? Did we sell a Val Saint Lambert lamp?
Yeah.
Really? Was that one?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember that one. I don't remember everything, but I just thought that this is a really beautiful piece of crystal. It does have a few small chips on the inside. I'm not worried about it because I like this piece. So
yeah, it's a very fine quality of crystal.
Yeah, I mean this crystal's like really nice. I mean, kind of, I would grade this as a little higher end than like Waterford. Another item that if I left it behind, I was going to regret it. Yeah, but I do believe Val Saint Lambert is from Belgium. You might want to double check me on that, but a very unique type of glass that's very expensive. And some of the things, this cranberry cut to clear, I mean, there's pieces online, I think, for like thousands of dollars. I don't think I'm going to get that because this thing is chipped. But this cranberry and pink, and this is a smaller piece, some pieces are bigger, but it's really phenomenal. I don't know if that's coming through. It probably is, but really phenomenal decorative piece. Just to put on your shelf or something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So worst comes to worst, that goes on a shelf and I get to enjoy it. Then
we already paid for everything and we were packing. And David went back to this cabinet and found this.
Well, I thought these were $8. The lady at the antique store was so nice because I was like, oh, these are $8. And she looks at the tag and she's like, well, how much did you say they are? Because there's actually two tags. One side says $5, the other one says $8. So she's like, well, what did you say that was? And she's like, it's only $5. I'm like, great. So she definitely let us off the hook there because I was like, oh, they're only $8. I'm like, I didn't even try to negotiate on this one. And then I still got my couple dollars off. But wow, look at the colors of those rhinestones. Those are beautiful. And that's what drew me to these clip-ons. What do you think, Allie?
I love it. I think because of the rhinestones are not together, you know, like a clutter together, they're like kind of a, looks like a star with those rhinestones. So I really like that.
And the last time I saw rhinestones that I was drawn to like this, it was in high-end Austrian costume jewelry. So I haven't looked too closely at the back of these, but
see if there is a signature or a mark, because costume jewelry usually has.
I just love the colors, like the peridot and the pink and blues, and then the gold hue of the metal. You know,
yeah,
pretty nice stuff. But $5.
Yeah, but now let's roofing.
Drum roll, right? Well, so the best item, like this is the item that is really incredible that I can't believe we found at an antique store. It was totally mispriced. and it's a little bit of a complex item, but I was drawn to this item. As you could see, there's this massive charm bracelet, right? And definitely some gold tones on this. Now, this was marked $65, and she ended up selling it to us for $55, but it's marked gold plate on the tag, GP, right? Well, if you look closely at the bracelet is actually gold filled. So the marking is consistent with a gold filled metal. So to be gold filled is a little bit better than gold plate. So $55 for a gold filled bracelet is not bad. However, it gets better because you see there is, let me see, 1, 2,
3. Oh, I don't know which ones are. You look at.
Yeah, 3, 4. There's at least four of these charms have markings consistent with 14 karat gold, namely the Cameo locket. And then this is an anniversary charm. And that one has some gemstones and a pearl on it. This one, this fraternity charm here, Omega Delta Kappa, it looks like to me. I didn't see any 14 karat gold charm. It says it's from, let me see that, 1949 Hillsdale.
Wow.
Then over here, this one's very interesting as well. It looks like it was a 32nd degree Mason charm with eagles on it, and the charm actually opens up, and I'll try to show you that in just a second, but this bell over here is 14 karat gold, and the elephant is 14 karat gold.
Let's get a close look to this.
Yes. Okay, so here is a closer look at the charm bracelet. So here you could see the elephant charm, and then the bell. Those are both 14 karat gold. This is a locket, no photograph and no marking. This is a 32nd degree Mason pin. And here, let me show you. See how that's closed right there? Well, let me see. One of them opens up. I think it's the other side. Let me see. Not that side. That side doesn't open. Yeah, this one.
This side here?
Yeah, you got to kind of get your nail underneath the eagle there. Yep. So you can see the eagle opens up there. And then it has some interesting like cross with weights and it looks like some red enameling. So that's super cool. But then over here, there is an interesting charm. I don't get this one. It looks like an initial, and then if you guys know more about this charm, let me know. But you see, it's got like, looks like some soldering. So I doubt that one's gold. May have some gold filled. It looks like this color down here reminds me of gold filled. And then here is the anniversary charm. So that one is consistent with 14 karat. Looks like we have an empty slot there. A charm either fell off or was taken off or broken off. But this one's a really nice one. 14 karat gold Cameo. Could you get that one open, Allie?
Sure.
Yeah,
I think it's this side, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so you can see the Cameo. There's another marking on the door. And it says 14 karat there. Yeah, it's hard to see that, but then, you know, the nice polishing and then the Cameo. So that's super nice. And the reason why, actually, this charm was the one that tipped me off. There was some good stuff here because at the bottom it says something like, I think it says B14K. So that one tipped me off that we were dealing with something good here. Then we got the Tri-Kappa Indiana charm. That one is gold filled. So a really nice deal for $55. This one could be worth $250 alone. This one's probably worth another 100 or so. The Masonic one, if it's gold, this thing could be worth $250 or more. And then the bell charm, probably $50 charm. The elephant, maybe a $50 charm. And then the rest has value in and of itself. So the rest is probably even worth $100, especially this gold-filled heavy chain there. So that is kind of the great find we made. I found this at an antique store, so pretty much at a store of an expert reseller. So don't be discouraged. You can get really good deals at antique stores. And like I said, this is probably $400 to $500 at least in value. So definitely was worth the trip to go check out some other antique stores. All right, well, I'll flip this around for you.
So that was it.
It was definitely a really fun day going to the antique stores. And I think I probably did better than even if I went to an estate sale.
Yeah, I honestly, I prefer because we went there, it was a new place, a new town, super cute, people very nice over there, like very helpful. And we really want to encourage you to go visit your local stores because you can really find good deals in local stores.
Yes. There's a huge difference between the local and the online markets. The main way that we sell through the internet is through our eBay store. It's called Ohio Stamp, right?
Toledo Antique.
Used to be called Ohio Stamp. Now it's Toledo Antique Mall, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So if you want to find our eBay store, look for Toledo Antique Mall.
The link will be down below in this video.
And you can kind of see what we're doing there. But I would tell you guys, the local market, I mean, there's certain things that are just kind of dead in the local market that are really hot online, particularly like porcelain. And so the people who, the local dealers who never realized that, there was like a fairy lamp craze, or, that this Viking fairy lamp is really hot, or a swung base was really popular. Some of the local dealerships, they don't realize those things. So you could definitely get some deals. And then at a local store, you'll probably see things that you're like, what? This is so expensive. I can't even buy that because it's not worth it. But so there's just kind of like this mixed up variety. You're going to see things that are more expensive than you could pay, but you're also going to get like really steep deals on gold bracelets when somebody didn't realize there was some 14 karat markings on there, or a Val St. Lambert crystal piece that nobody could make out the signature. So so you can get some really good deals that way. And the stores, they know what they got in the stuff. So as long as they're making money, they're usually happy. And you can make some money too. So you're probably doubling their money, and then you're going to double your money, if not get 10 times what you paid for something. So it's super cool to be going out hunting for antiques locally. And it's one of my favorite things to do. We see all these little towns all across our region that we would never see otherwise. We usually go out to eat afterwards, and some nice restaurants that we go to and are able to try. And so it's a pretty fun hobby.
Oh yeah. So go out there, and happy hunting for you guys. We will see you guys next time.
All right. See you later.